Travel changes you, but not just in the obvious ways. One second, it's an aesthetic street sign, the way the cars drive around the street, a building detail, a perfect moment in a cafe, and suddenly you're seeing the entire world differently than what you're used to. I just spent 2 weeks in Japan, and it gave me so much inspiration in the way I think about art, design, and even the way I want to decorate my home. There is something about the aesthetic of Japan that is unlike anything I've seen before. Literally everything from the hustle and bustle of Shibuya to the calm stone paths and rivers of Kyoto, it all just felt so purposeful and aesthetic. I literally could not put my camera down. I was filming every single snack, packaging, building, ceramic dish, you name it. In Shimokitsuzawa, I've wandered vintage shops filled with curated chaos and felt inspired. And at Nishiki Market in Kyoto, the textures and colors of the handmade goods and foods also made me feel inspired. Just overall, everything was such a serene and fun experience. During the trip, I started thinking, what would it look like if I brought these moments home? And no, not just as souvenirs that I kind of put in little places around my home, but as art. So when I got home, I immediately opened up my camera roll, and all of a sudden the photos that I saw on my phone were not just photos. They were a library of inspiration at my disposal. So this was no easy task, but I went through and picked some of my favorite shots and started creating a small mini series of art prints for my home. I tried to pick a photo from every city we went to. So we have Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. Once I had shortlisted my photos, I went into Photoshop and actually cleaned them up. I got rid of any people that were in the background, any imperfections of the photos, and I also expanded some of the photos. So for this Kyoto one, you can see I'm making the top taller because I wanted to add some more stuff in the top. Then I start sketching. The first round is really just me kind of roughly putting in what I want the concept to be. So as you can see, it's usually really ugly, really messy. It looks like a child did it. If you're not me, you probably don't know what's going on, but it's just a placement for me to quickly just jot down my idea before it runs away. After that comes probably the hardest part of the whole illustration process, is actually cleaning this up and turning these ugly little scribbles into something beautiful-ish. So I kind of clean it up, I play around, and I make another sketch. This is usually still a little messy, obviously not as messy as the first round, but it is much cleaner. Once I've done that, I go in and do a third sketch layer. This is really when I'm cleaning it up, and this is kind of like the outline of the final illustration that I'm gonna do. So this one is where I'm actually being really perfect and precise with all my lines and making sure it looks how I want it to look, because after I complete this, it's time to actually do the illustration. And this is kind of like the easy, mindless part where I can just fill in the color, and honestly, I'm just tracing over my sketch at this point. So a lot of the times I'll do this while I'm watching TV instead of just listening to music, because I don't really need my full focus here. Adding color is honestly one of my favorite parts of the illustration process. A lot of the times, not to say it's mindless, but this is a time where I feel like I can really get lost in the drawing, because the concept in the sketch is the time where I actually really have to put in thought into how I'm composing the illustration, what elements I'm putting where, and how it looks as a whole. But I love color. So when I'm finally done thinking and using my brain to compose it, and I actually get to add in the color and play around with shadows and highlights, that's where like I feel like my inner child comes out. I get emotional talking about it, how much happiness and joy color can bring to an image, and how it can make people feel things. It can make you feel excited, it can make you feel sad, it can make you feel nostalgic. Like, color has so much impact, and I love it. Here are the final pieces. I was honestly so happy with how these turned out. Just the color palettes, the intention I put into all of these, and also the way that these just kind of freeze the moment in time of me being in Japan while adding my own little flair. And when looking at these photos, it takes me back to the time and place and the memory and what I was doing, and it just makes me feel like I'm still there. So I really encourage you to do something similar. You don't have to illustrate full people. You can draw little doodles on your photos, maybe write poems on your photos, just some way to reminisce on your trip based on what you saw. It can even be a collage. Once I printed the photos, I decided to put them on my gallery wall and update my wall a little bit. The purpose of my gallery wall when I did it was kind of to be this living, breathing piece of artwork. So So being able to finally update it also just felt so refreshing. I love that these little pieces of Japan are now woven into my everyday life. Every time I walk into my office, I'm just reminded of a place and a time that felt magical, and it just reminds me of my travels, and I love travel, so this is a great way for me to remember that every day. I wanted to create more than just an art print and a decorative piece for my wall. I wanted to create memories. So my intention here was to illustrate them with the same intention that I saw in Japan. Clean lines, meaningful color palettes, but also lots of joy and fun and bold moments. Every time I look at them, I don't just remember the trip, I remember how it made me feel. Travel to me doesn't end when a trip is over. It lives on in your space, in your art, in the way you see the world after, and in the way you tell stories about the trip. For me, Japan gave me more than just memories. It gave me a new lens and piece of inspiration for my art that I will take with me in all of my work moving forward, and it provided me a more intentional way to create. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I hope it inspires you to look closer, create more meaningfully, and maybe even bring a little bit of your travels into your own home.